Hi there, welcome back. I'm FrozenMelon, and let's continue with our Hades Let's Play today. I said this time round, from the last video, we're going to be doing the bow again, just because of the fact we get more darkness. And we're going to see how everything goes.
Which one?
We set it up to just try and get a bit more experience with this old spiked collar, just to get a little bit more health. So let's jump into the run.
Ready? Oh, it's her. There must be a mess. Let's see here. Hi there. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Why, hello there, little godling. I have to say you're quite the specimen, and so I've decided I shall aid you for the moment. You interested?
Okay, so attacks deal weak, which I'll take that because it just gives more bonuses
Interested?
as well.
In the power to break hearts? Sure, I don't see why not.
Each time the prince delves back into the underworld, its ever-shifting chambers realign to frustrate his attempts to perhaps map it out.
Built to ensure no one gets out. We'll see about that.
So everyone's doing alright at the moment. I know as we're recording this video we've just had Blastoise release in Pokemon Unite, which unfortunately I don't have enough coins to actually use him myself.
Collect.
It's a little bit disappointing, but so at the moment I'm being quite wild Blissey, as well as then using Cottony, so but I have ended up using a few more other Pokemon as well. And it said if you are people that do watch the Hearthstone Arena series, it said you will probably see a game on there which, yeah, you probably saw my morale literally jump off a cliff with one of those games, which said if you haven't seen them, I do encourage people to watch them. It's one of those things where it's just kind of nice to see how the game's played, and if you do play a bit of Hearthstone yourself, kind of watch how other people play and the thought process of what I'm doing. Can I go through some of those as well?
I can use this to unlock a weapon.
I'll take the increased health here.
Come on, you.
Yeah, but it would be nice to know what other games people are playing at the moment, what you're into.
That's better.
Because I know there's a lot of talks about coming up with the new Call of Duty, which I think is called Vanguard at the moment. They did just recently have an alpha, I believe, or a sort of beta test of their servers on PS4 and PS5. As myself, I don't own a PS4 or a PS5 at the moment, so I wasn't able to be part of that. But I'm not too sure about getting the new Call of Duty early. So I just play them less and less over time. So at the moment, with just kind of playing these sort of games, they're taking more of my free time as I'm making more and more videos on them, and keeping up daily uploads with Hearthstone Arena. Or as I like to call it, one man's descent into madness.
That's what you get.
Oh, so you've already heard from Aphrodite, have you, nephew? Understandable. But first things first, now let me add a little something to all that.
So attacking specials, the first 10 seconds are stronger, which could be good, but I'll just get the random treasure.
Let's make some waves, right, Uncle?
Because that will boost stuff later. It's quite nice to have that earlier on.
Here we go again.
You cannot escape.
That's a challenge room.
Found me, huh? At least I'm picking up some coin.
Yeah, but at the moment, I just don't think there's any sort of games that I'm like that excited for. I mean, I'm looking forward to the new Pokemon games coming out later this year, and then also the Arceus Legends as well, Pokemon, which comes out next year. I think quite a lot of people are looking forward to the Arceus Legends more, just on the idea of the fact that it's a 3D kind of an actual 3D RPG game coming out for Pokemon. Just accept that and get some of these kills. Okay.
Fine, go.
There.
No, but I said with any luck, there'll be some quite new games for those coming out. As I was having a bit of a funny moment when I went to work today, is the fact that I wasn't actually in work. So it's not the first time I've done it, it won't be the last time. As I say, I'd rather turn up to work and not be in than not turn up and actually be in.
Nice.
I don't think the shop will take the hammer, see what we can get off this. Maybe something for the attack power. My bow.
Shall get this bow back into tip-top shape.
Yeah, guess we'll take the attack there.
Modified.
And here I'll take the nectar.
A bottle of nectar.
Oh, nice.
Looks
Get a
like
free
good
heal.
batch.
A place of calm and respite, whilst perhaps unimaginable in the underworld, occasionally is to be found, in fact.
And not a moment too soon.
And I will take the Zeus one. So I think Zeus one on the special might be good.
I just know you'll reach the surface here eventually, Zagreus, and I look forward to our meeting when you do.
Yeah, so I will take the dash here just instead.
All right, Lord Zeus. Charon's shop. Fine day to you as well there, mate. Now let's have a look at your supply, shall we? Don't spend it all in one place, mate.
Hey, what's with that Charon, man? He's sort of, I don't know, though I am glad he's been of service.
It's not bad, just a free heal if I do really well.
Delicious.
Take that for the attack. Let's jump into the boss fight then.
I'm here, Meg.
And there you are again. Lord Hades ought to lock you up rather than let you run amok in his domain like this.
I'm sure he'd welcome all this feedback from you, Meg. Or maybe you're just pining for my father's job.
I have no envy for your father's position. Besides, I happen to enjoy my own responsibilities.
Yeah, at the moment I said with Pokemon Unite, I'm kind of around sitting at veteran rank 3, which, although I don't mind sitting around that rank at the moment, and it's getting slightly annoying on the amount of times I'll sit there and two people will argue over the speedster category.
Watchers of Tartarus come in.
And then no one will sit there and decide to take any other role. Now, I will admit, some of these games we end up winning, and I will say some of them are bot games you end up having up, which is something that people have realised that's been happening now. But it just kind of baffled me. It's like, if I see someone pick a mid laner, like, I'm not picking another mid laner. There's no point. Just because they're not going to come off it if they selected it first, which I just kind of... I don't know. It would be nice if, on the ranked play, especially, if Pokemon Unite did a pick system. Similar to like League of Legends and Dota and stuff like that. Just so the fact that you couldn't have the same Pokemon on the, you know, people picking like the same Pokemon all the time or things like that. And it require team coordination at the same time. At least then it would kind of curve the spread a little bit of people going,
Yes.
I'll go top lane, and then I'll go top lane, and then you got a third person who picks attacker and goes, I'll go top lane. And you start there going, wait a second.
Oh, I didn't
So am I
see
by
it
myself? And yeah, that normally ends up happening.
Well,
Or
I did.
all three of them will head
Let's think
upwards.
about this.
Yeah, we can get rid of
Ooh,
that.
that's
for
cold.
Restoring health is pointless. I don't really want any of those.
Going up.
It would just kind of stop that first like 30-second argument of who's going where and then losing out on experience. And so if you do play Pokemon Unite and you are in the top lane, the first Dreadnought is really important. So at the moment you see that timer start ticking down to 20 seconds, regardless of what else is going on around you, just leave top lane, go straight down. You don't have to defend top lane, it makes no difference. If you get XP, you're more likely to then get Zapdos at the end, at which point you've got an easy time of dunking 100 points in your opponent's top goal because you've left it open earlier on.
Show yourselves.
And then while you're dunking that one, your next teammate is going straight across to the second goal on the top lane to dunk another 100 points. And just by that, you've already almost tripled the amount of points that they probably dunked at the 80 in the first goal anyway. So yeah, it's not as important. Like, the only time it's important is if you're Talonflame with the attack weight. If you've got that on, which I think is one of his best builds at the moment, then yeah, that's absolutely fine. Like, let him score the points.
Let's get out of here.
But other than that, there's no point really in worrying about dunking unless you're literally just trying to get early levels on your opponent. And at that point, you're only really asking the defenders to do it with their score shield.
Gust of air. This mark, almost like a bat wing. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hey boss, found you. Good. Hermes, at your service. Pleasure. You are the talk of Olympus. Normally I wouldn't get mixed up, but for you, I'll be making an exception. Now come on, we've both got places to be.
Yeah. So hold cast so far in rapid succession, or we take more dashes. I'll take the dash.
The lift, Lord Hermes, sir. Now let's go.
Coin. Now let's try and increase my attack again. Nope. Stay there.
Who dies first?
Yeah, but I don't think the pick system for Pokemon Unite should work with both your enemy and your teammates. Or maybe it should. I don't know how people would feel about that, but I definitely think it should work within your own team. Just the fact that it would stop, or at least try and make your team coordinate. Okay, so I see that they've picked an attacker, so in that case I might pick something different, and that way we can kind of get people that will kind of main one character and have like a sub-main on top of it. So myself, I'll either pick Cottony or Blissey depending on who's in the bottom lane with me. So if I've got a team that can actually take advantage of
strength.
the increased attack speed that they get given, I'll pick Blissey. If not, then I'll pick Cottony. And then if I've got no one else to come down with me into that lane, or no one that's picking a mid laner, I'll end up picking like Lucario. And sort of those are the three that I end up alternating
Why, it's
with.
the barge of death.
I mean, sometimes I do pick defenders. Mainly I stick to Slowbro, just because the fact that I started playing him earlier on, and although I do have Snorlax, I can just be a pretty mean Slowbro main sometimes, so... Chances are, if you saw a Slowbro with the name FrozenMelon, and you got annoyed by him, yep, that was me.
That sound.
Sometimes I have to wonder, man, what's going through your head. I mean, I know you hear me and the others, but it's so damn dark down there, I can't hear you at all.
Yeah, we'll take that up, get another Nectar. It gives me
Sweet.
more health when I receive Nectar, so that's going to be useful. And the special kind of poison damage might have been good as well.
Slam dancers.
But I think going all in on my attack build at the moment and dodging is what I want to do.
A key for back home.
So yeah, I do hope that people kind of get the idea with Pokemon Unite that the whole object of it isn't to sit there and think yourself, oh, he's picked this, he's picked that, and I can't play what I want. It's more like, okay, he's picked that, he's picked this, I should pick this, and as most people say, depending on what you have, I said, it makes a difference. I don't mind you picking a role, as long as you're good with that role. But yeah, I haven't come across ones there where it's like they've picked the role and they're still good with it even if they're out of lane. They're just not. And then I end up then trying to solo carry a lane, and because everyone else picked other classes that kind of need support, I picked support and I can't do anything. I have said it in another video before, yeah, that just means you then got two people that aren't doing anything. Let's go to the shop on this one. So just before the Hydra.
Thank you, mate.
Increase my attack.
I see the Berkman of the Underworld has found a means to reach you with my blessing, nephew. Such strange alliances we forge these days.
Okay, your lightning bolts have a chance to trigger twice, that's good. I'll take the healing. So let's fight the Hydra.
You come to fulfill my father's wishes.
Yeah, but I'm keeping myself busy recently. I'm going to have some catch-ups with some friends as well later this week, which will be quite nice, especially since we haven't seen each other really that much with the sort of COVID restrictions. Even now they're like lifting, you're still always apprehensive about seeing people. So work's been doing alright as well. Just the norm really. I wonder how sort of everyone else feels about everything at the moment. Because with sort of the COVID restrictions we've all had in place, we've had these for quite a long time, and okay, everything's starting to relax now, you can kind of go for that somewhat normality back. But so the question is like, do you feel like just stuff is stagnated to a point where, you know, the progression that you used to have is no longer there? Do you feel like there's stuff you want to do, but kind of not sure if it's worth the change?
Back.
Or is it more the fact you already have made the change and we're still stuck in that sort of position? Because I think we all got quite a lot of sort of decisions coming ahead of us at this time. Sort of how the COVID restrictions will be changing everything, how workplaces will be changing their environment. I know there's sort of talks with certain companies whether they actually even want to have office space anymore, because of workers, employees seem to be a lot more happier working from home if they're capable of doing so, and it does make things run a lot more smoothly with efficient processes. Other companies realise that working from home hasn't worked at all, so they want back in the office. So what are your works all planning for yourselves at the moment? Is it something where you're kind of still in the office, you're not at the office, or in your workplace, or are you sort of 50-50 between everything? There's no harm giving the thoughts on the matter. There we go. That's the flying from down. Try the Hydra.
That's what you get.
As for the Hades videos at the moment, still plan to upload like sort of 2 a week at the moment, is the idea.
Spoons for coin.
Which
One more
the
fall.
current upload schedule is the sort of Monday and Friday that we're expecting. So I'm trying to tweak the times of when I upload videos a little bit as well.
Everything's so green.
Just trying to fit around my own schedule.
The enshrouded river of forgetfulness, Lethe, flows through the hallowed chambers of Elysium, numbing old pains and memories of the most noble shades residing there.
I'll have to give them new pains to recall.
Now I'll take the hammer upgrade again. Hopefully get something good. Okay.
This spell could use a little fine-tuning.
So reduce range, or power shot is used to execute and does more damage. But it cannot power shot. Let's take the Fury. So we can just do this. To increased health here. Yeah, but I still hope everyone is doing alright. And you all sort of had a good bank holiday weekend at the moment in the UK. So I know the weather was quite a nice one for it. As myself, I was stuck working, so yeah, I didn't really get up to much in the end.
Feeling tough.
I know a lot of people use the time to kind of have the family over, things like that. A bit of catch up.
Chariot.
So I did spend sort of the Saturday evening sort of seeing my father, which was quite nice. See how he was doing, and of course my brother was there as well, which was nice to have a catch up with him. But so there was a sort of a small interesting thing that I kind of noticed. I don't know if anyone can kind of sometimes can relate to this. But when you get a lot of people that are kind of having like two conversations around yourself, and you're trying to listen or make input into at least one of the conversations, but you kind of are understanding both the conversations at the same time when they're both going on. Like, do other people kind of feel that sort of thing sometimes, where it's just like you are just listening to two conversations and you're completely making sense of everything, or is it more just the fact it all sounds like noise? Because it's one of those things where it's like my dad and my brother were talking about one thing, and my stepmom and his and my brother's girlfriend were talking about another, and I could quite easily distinguish the two of them on what they were discussing and the input I could make into both those conversations. So it'd be interesting to know if other people are able to kind of do that, or if you kind of know other people that can do it, or if it's just a thing that everyone can do, just no one seems to, because 20% less damage. Yeah, I'll take the special increase now.
Cheers to that.
Maybe get the key.
Long spears.
Like, I've never really thought about it, but it's just one of those things where it's like someone will sit there and I'm kind of concentrating on the TV and they'll say something to me, but I can clearly hear it fine while still watching TV. I used that quite a lot as a kid, which did, I will say, did annoy my mum quite a lot. The amount of times I got, "You're not even listening to me," and then repeat the entire conversation that she just said back to me. Yeah. So some future advice for anyone that is sort of 12 and can do that. Don't repeat what she just said back to you. Just say, "Sorry, you weren't listening." It's not worth the argument to prove her wrong. Trust me.
Much better.
There we go, and the spike collar is now ranked up as well, so we get more health. So this room here, basically is a sort of challenge room. So you see got two of the blessings at the top, 2 runes, so with that I can pick one of them, get the blessing, and then I have to fight a challenge from the other god with his ability going off in the room, and then I'll get his blessing afterwards. So it's quite a good room to pick up when you're able to. Depends what the second room is. Like, the second room is never really that good, but if you're good and set up, you can take these rooms quite nicely. Let's double check there's nothing. No, there isn't. So let's go and do this challenge room. But yeah, no one really should argue with their mum.
The gods want me to choose.
I mean, your mum is your mum at the end of the day. And between that, for all you men out, your mum is also a woman, which means that she is always right, regardless of what anyone says. She gets, like, double rightness, if you want to call it that.
Guess he's upset.
Yeah, you should never argue with your mum. I mean, there's so much she'll do for you, regardless of how old you are, what goes on. I will say it, I'm a bit of a mummy's boy, never going to deny that. But I'll never tell her that because she'll never let me live down. Nah, so there's only have that sort of relationship with like one of their parents. Where it's just like you just both are really close, and it doesn't matter sort of at any sort of distance. You always are.
Ah, I can't stay angry. Let us call all that unpleasantness back there water under the bridge. What say you, nephew?
And we're getting the assortment again.
Hit the spot.
Let's take the palm to upgrade my attack if we can.
Oh, good.
Okay. I don't really want to try. I don't want to use my Death Defiance here, so I'm really trying to concentrate on not taking any more damage.
A palm of power.
Yeah, we'll take the increase in the attack.
Juicy.
And we should be coming up to, yeah, the shop.
Never gone this far.
So we'll take the heart, the healing, and we also get a random blessing. So this bag here, it only appears in the shop as far as I'm aware at the moment. But basically you get a random blessing from any god that is available in this run. So
You're such a sweetheart. Looks like we meet again, dearest, here among the foul detritus of the boatman's wares. You truly take me to the best of places.
So weakness, could be more potent, and more sets of damage. So yeah, more damage, even if it's just 10%, is still worthwhile. And this time we've got our boss to face. So let's jump into this one.
Oh, wow.
I warned you, short one. Now you face a foe more terrible even than I. The only other foe whom I have ever faced who bested me.
Hold, fiend! You'll walk not one more step toward the light of day, so long as I am here.
Theseus, no way. You two are legends. I'd be honored if we had a sporting contest here.
Ah, a naked attempt to sway me from my convictions. Defend yourself, you blackguard, and may the gods show you some mercy, for I shall not.
Theseus always makes me laugh every time I see him. Like, Theseus just reminds me of all of those sort of anime characters where they're oblivious to everything, but they have the confidence of a god. And the luck along to go with it. And if you know what I mean when I say that, yeah, you got someone that is like that, it's actually hilarious. 'Cause that's just all he reminds me of. He's the guy that would sit there and go, you know, like, how dare you, foul beast, smite me? But I am unsmiteable, you can't do this. And then someone else will save him and be like, I completely had that fight, there was no need for your assistance, but I appreciate the help. And he's like,
Never.
like, dude. So in this fight in particular, the strategy normally is to take out the Minotaur first,
You shall have what you came to see.
while dodging Theseus' attacks.
Here, fiend!
You're quick.
I'm taking way too much damage this fight. I still got Theseus to play, so I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but maybe I can get lucky.
Ready yourself.
Ah, no. Unfortunately, we do die here.
Oh, that bull hits rather hard.
Shades of the dead mill constantly within the house, complaining of their woes and seeking audience from any who would listen.
I listen. How goes it, Shades?
I know how absurd this sounds, but I kind of like it here. That's always good. So let's go and talk to some of the characters around now.
Wow, I can't believe you took on the Minotaur. No way! No wonder you're back here. Everyone knows that he's unstoppable, especially me. Hey, next you run into him, could you get his autograph for me?
No.
Didn't hear you come in.
Father, what happened to the lounge? The only place for anyone to have a little fun around here, and you seal it shut.
Oh, I had little choice about that boy. You see, after you fled the first time, Cerberus, why, he was very much upset. Utterly tore the place to shreds. It's now under repair. All thanks to you.
You're really blaming me for not minding the dog while I was out and while you all were here.
I lay the blame entirely upon you, yes. Who else? It's fortunate that Cerberus has calmed himself since then. Come to his senses, I should say. May you yet come to yours.
That dialogue which makes me laugh, because it just reminds me of when I used to look after my family dog, and I used to take him for walks and stuff like that. So let's have a look at the renovations that we can set up at the moment. So to start off with, from what I can upgrade my run, so I get the Infernal Chambers set up. I can change my keepsake halfway through the run, which could be a good idea. Or the Fated List of Minor Prophecies. That one would probably be a good one to get now, because that will give me more rewards later down the line. So that's what I'm going to do.
Approved.
So that actually goes into the bedroom, which we'll have a little look over in a moment.
You requisition that useless bit of parchment.
You'll get the hang of it out there, lad. For all our sparring practice, there's no teacher like the real thing. Now then, I have something for you.
What, wait, you're giving me your codex? I can't accept something like this.
Please, I insist. I want your love of history to grow, not just your love of warfare. Besides, maybe you can finish out the rest of it.
I'm grateful.
Okay, so what we've got there for Achilles is the Codex, which allows us to go through all the characters and everything else we picked up so far. So if people do want me to kind of read through all these things, I don't mind. I might end up doing them sort of maybe like one particular thing an episode, or we might just go through them once we've like filled out the entire page for them. But it's one of those things where there is quite a lot of lore behind it, so yeah, it might be something we can do as well, especially if we start running out of dialogue options or sort of ones to pair up sort of new ones for the story. But that is all good.
I wonder where Nyx went. What are your sisters up to these days, Meg? I've not seen them around.
We're stretched a little thin, as you can see. Some kind of war up there meant lots of business here. I'm left to hold the line and deal with you.
So that there was a little bit of a dialogue option that you got, where what will happen later at some point, her sisters will come back. It's not really a spoiler because that kind of just states it there.
Back away from there.
A vast and intricately crafted mosaic depicts the Underworld King presiding over the enormity of his domain, whilst its chthonic residents look on in awe of him.
He's not really that great.
Keep it down.
Hey boy, just me again. Here to report it's pretty dangerous out there even without you on guard duty all the time.
The venerable Hound of Hell barely acknowledges the softly spoken prince's platitude, knowing full well the underworld is not as vigilantly guarded as in ages past.
And always,
You don't like it when I pet your other heads, huh? No.
He is Cerberus a good pet. He is a good boy.
Bane's concern for you.
This is clearly someone that is upset that Cerberus is not his favorite boy. Cerberus is a good boy. He knows which one feeds him the most and cares for him the most. So let's jump
the fated list.
in here, and this is the list they were talking about.
The fate-abetting prince perhaps believes it was through his own choice that he procured the fated list of minor prophecies, but it was preordained.
Oh no, not this determinism thing again. Who am I to question fate?
So, as you can see here, all of these basically are challenges for you to kind of complete through everything else. And of course, what you can do is claim the rewards for them.
My extended
So,
family seems an interesting lot.
it's quite a nice one to at least kind of get the list of those there. And you can see you can meet everyone, go through picking up all the blessings, getting all the upgradable stuff as well. And there are little things that kind of show you what's going on which ones you haven't received. So we might start picking ones that haven't picked up yet, just the fact that we can get some of those things done on the list. Now, at the moment I do have 8 keys, so it could be worthwhile for me to now unlock this. Just the fact that we can then start getting upgrades onto more of the other abilities. So that's what I will do.
New.
So the 2 new abilities we've got here is the Boiling Blood, which I do bonus damage for attack and special if they've got one of the crystals within them. And if also whenever there's those kind of crystals, I can basically get a +1 to the rank of it. So I can have more within my supply of using, which I will upgrade that. I'll do it again if we can do, so I can hold 2 maximum. And we'll start upgrading this. So when I can use it, we'll just do more damage to the person that actually has them attacked in. I'll max this out now, so I get 3 health per turn, basically per room extra.
Max's strength.
Now let's speak to Skilly.
Little tip, boyo. You find any coinage while you're out there, you be sure to pawn it off to that old Chiron. Boatman guy, use it or lose it, pal. Use it or lose it.
Thanks, mate. Note to self, always spend everything I earn instead of ever saving.
Oh, that's a good little joke. But with that there, again, it explains to you sort of people that would be new to the game, that don't quite understand what the context are of the gold coins that you get. You don't actually save them between each run. Basically, once they are used, that's it, they're gone.
Stygius, blade of the underworld, I need your strength.
Pretty mean knife you got there.
So yeah, here, what I'm going to do is use a sword next run, just because it's got, again, that bonus. And let's give the gift to Skelly.
For you, mate. Thought you might get a kick out of this.
For me, pal? Awful nice of you, just awful nice. But guess what? I got this for you. Tit for tat, you understand? A deal's a deal.
Cheers, mate.
So he's giving me the lucky tooth there. And again, as you can see, we just updated the codex as well. So let's go through and do the rest of these.
Surprise, Hypnos. I got you this.
Whoa, 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 you can't bring that in here. Just kidding. Thanks. But wait, I'll trade you. Look.
Cheers, Hypnos. Hey, Achilles. Look, this really isn't much, but here.
This really is for me? You beat me to it then, as I had meant to give you this when next we spoke. Please, take it.
Thanks so much, sir.
So you can see it's always a good idea to try and get those earlier on so it gives you more flexibility in your runs.
Appreciate your patience.
I know this sounds absurd, but I kind of like it here. Cause of death, beetle. I can see why you like it here. No, but that's... I do have one I can give to Hades as well, don't I? So let's go and do that one. And then we can end this little playthrough for this one.
Hey, Father, I thought maybe, here.
Where did you get this? You think you can butter me up with such trifles? Give me that, and then get out of here.
You're welcome, Father.
Doesn't really do much, but I kind of want to just give it to him now anyway.
Long enough.
Which is kind of funny. So as for the new ones we got Miradon's bracers, which will take 20% less damage from the front, but we take 10% more from the back. And we also got the coin purse, which gives us gold straight away as soon as we equip it or as soon as we start with it. So we got some extra gold to spend. And the lucky tooth here will automatically restore 50 HP when we basically die. So it's essentially like an extra life, which can be quite useful. As for upgrading these, we're going to take the coin purse thing next time round, just because of the fact that having the extra gold is going to be useful in later runs when I can just kind of equip it and get the gold straight away. Which is quite nice. But other than that, I'll say we'll go to our usual spot. I said thank you much for watching the video. I said if you do like these, I said it does take a little bit of time to get them recorded and all set up. So do leave a like and subscribe as well if you want to see more. And I'll see you in the next one.